Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. Man, I'm telling you, the fallout from this loss to the Detroit Lions has been absolutely epic. I mean, it has been epic at what has been transpiring. And we didn't talk about it yesterday, but we're going to talk a little bit about I got some videos coming out about it, but I still want us to talk about the conversation that Jerry had, his press conference he had on Sunday night after the game. Jerry out here snapping and cutting necks, man. He is cutting necks. Good evening, Carl. Man, I don't know if you've been checking it out, but boy, Jerry is out here. Jerry wilding out here. And I think I know some reasons why Jerry Jones is out here wilding out. I think Jerry Jones has finally, I think he's finally coming face to face with a lot of these things that he's been doing, or the lack thereof. And I think what's happening is people are finally starting to place the blame on Jerry Jones. People are finally saying that Jerry Jones is the problem. I mean, they're realizing that he doesn't play in free agency. They're realizing a lot of the things that he is doing to hamper this team. And this is why, I want to talk a little bit about Mike McCarthy also, because I want everyone to, and I know right now everyone's talking bad about Mike McCarthy, but I want everybody to look at this Mike McCarthy thing in a different light. I want everybody to look at this in a different light, because sometimes fans are very fanatical. I mean, that's why they're called fans. And some fans are more fanatical than others. I actually saw a video earlier today where a Baltimore Raven fan was walking the streets looking for Redskin fans so that he could beat them up after the game. I mean, what kind of world do we live in when we are taking sports to that level? I mean, at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. I mean, it's supposed to be fun for us. It's supposed to be a getaway in some respects, but it is turning. People are so serious now about sports. It's crazy, and I don't think there's a fan base more fanatical than the Dallas Cowboy fan base. And I think what people don't realize, I'm going to talk about this a lot going forward, but I think Jerry Jones is placating to two different fan bases, whether we accept it or not. The Dallas Cowboys, they're the only team I know like this. People love to love them, and they love to hate them. There are no in-betweens. You either love them or hate them. And so Cowboy fans, and I'm talking about Cowboy fans. That's why I always say Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. Because watch what happens this Sunday night. All of this talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What do you think going to happen next Sunday night when the Cowboys play the 49ers? The Cowboys already broke the record for their Thursday night football game. It was the most viewed game on Thursday Night Football for Amazon. What do you think is going to happen when they play the 49ers? And people who know the Cowboys have not been able to get over that hump. And now we don't have the players that we had last year. Now we got this we got this young offensive line that can't block. We got this defensive line that can't stop the run. We're coming up against Kyle, master play caller Shanahan. There will be people tuning in to watch us win, probably not thinking we can win. And there will be a ton of people tuning in to watch us lose. We're the only team that people do that for, because people, my father-in-law was, when he was alive, he was a Dallas Cowboy hater. He would only watch the game so he could tease my wife and tease Dallas Cowboy fans at his job. There are people who watch the Dallas Cowboys just so they can talk bad about them. And Jerry understands. Jerry clearly understands that other fan base. Jerry makes so much money for the 3 and 4 letter networks. You better believe. Don't let them fool you. They love the Dallas Cowboys. What would they talk about without them? There is no other team more interesting than the Dallas Cowboys. No other team more interesting than the Dallas Cowboys. Well, before we get into it big time with Jerry Jones, I want to look at something of one of the reasons why Jerry Jones is catching so much flack. Let me read what Carl has posted here. Carl said, and you know what, bro? He's so proud that he don't want to accept the fact that the brothers YouTubers knows more than him. Yeah. Yep. And you know, I want to encourage the YouTubers who do these Dallas Cowboy things, because I've been noticing something about the Dallas Cowboys YouTubers. I mean, a lot of us are freaking out. Like, we don't know what's going on. How do we not know what's going on? I mean, I'm not proclaiming to be a prophet, but I'm going to get into this more as we keep on going today and talking about this. I'll be here in about an hour and a half. I'm going to be talking about this thing with Jerry Jones, because I want us to the reason why I said Jerry Jones is snapping, I want us to listen to, if you haven't already heard. And if you have heard, I'm going to help us reevaluate what Jerry Jones said to the fan. What Jerry Jones said to the fan. But I want to get into some more news first. And while I do not consider it to be news for the Dallas Cowboys, I think it is news as it pertains to the Cowboys because of some things that people were saying about Davante Adams. And so, see if I can pull this up here. I saw Cowboy fans losing their minds over this right here. And they have an ad playing, but you can see the headline. Jets finalizing a deal for Davante Adams from Raiders, setting up reunion with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, maybe I've been hiding under a rock. Who didn't know that was going to happen? The Jets owner, whether people admit it or not, and whether Aaron Rodgers admits it or not, that ownership has been placating to Aaron Rodgers. I could be totally wrong, but Robert Saleh was fired because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said he had nothing to do with it. Yes, you did, Aaron Rodgers. You lost again last night. Robert Saleh was over the defense, and that part of the game, that part of the team has been doing well. I mean, what more can you ask for to hold the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen to 23 points? That defense, Robert Saleh had that defense humming. It was your side of the football, Aaron Rodgers, that was sucking, and everyone knows you really didn't like Robert Saleh, it seemed, all that much. So who was surprised when the Jets went and pulled this off? Now, I don't know why the Dallas Cowboy fans are in such an uproar about this. I did a video on this weeks ago. Davante Adams was not the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He was not the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, because a lot of people do not understand. Yes, is Davante Adams an extreme talent? Yes. But he's also, if I'm not mistaken, 31 years old. I want to pull up something for you to look at here in just a second. But I want us to understand something. Yes, Davante Adams is but the problem is, we just signed a wide receiver to $30 million. So why would we go and get Davante Adams in particular? Because this may really cause some friction if we would have got him, because I'm sorry, Davante Adams is not a bona fide number 2 wide receiver. He is a bona fide number 1 receiver. And I believe that would have caused some problems with the young CD Lamb. I think that would have caused some problems with the young CD Lamb. And so I didn't think there was any way the Cowboys was going to do a deal with Davante Adams. And it's not just the Dallas Cowboys who were not going to do a deal with Davante Adams. And for all of those folk who are in their feelings, especially the Dallas Cowboy YouTubers, I'm disappointed. You guys got to get a grip and understand what's going on. Revelation journalist says Jerry Jones has announced he is the face of the NFL corporate fascism. Gestapo. We get to step on your constitutional rights. I see you, Revelation. I see you. We have to understand. We have to understand. A lot of people are faulting Jerry Jones for not doing the deal with Davante Adams. But I'm going to tell y'all something that Davante Adams is doing. Davante Adams, does anybody not realize the salary that Davante Adams is making? Do y'all realize that whatever team, and now we know it's going to be the Jets will have to pay Davante Adams $11 million prorated. $11 million. Y'all don't think Kansas City would have loved to have Davante Adams? Y'all don't think the Baltimore Ravens? Y'all don't think the Buffalo Bills? We're going to mention them in a moment. Y'all don't think that there are some good teams, the Houston Texans? Y'all don't think there are some good teams who wouldn't have minded being great teams? There are some teams out there that probably would not have minded signing Davante Adams. But it's not just the $11 million that I'm sure had teams running. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm Davante Adams' agent, if you haven't noticed, there's something else we need to be looking at. Davante Adams has 2 non-guaranteed years. You want to know what those 2 non-guaranteed years are? $35 million, 2025, $35 million, 2026. And you're saying, hold on a second, man, you said non-guaranteed. So you think I'm going to go out and talk to teams and not also try to finesse getting those other 2 years? Even if I don't get $35 million those 2 years. Let's have an understanding that I want those 2 years picked up. I want those 2 years picked up. Even if you give me, okay, I'll take below what CeeDee Lamb got, but you're going to have to give me $30 million rather than $35 million. No one wanted to touch that contract. It's not just the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys were not the only ones who did not want to touch that contract, because the reality of the situation is that I'm sure that's being talked about in the background of that contract. And I don't know about you, but unless I am a Super Bowl contender, I mean, this is the only thing I need is a wide receiver that's going to get me over the top. I'm not paying $11 million because let's just say, okay, I'm not going to pick up the 2 years, but I'll still bring Davante Adams on. I'm not paying $11 million for a 11-game rental. Who's doing that? I can tell you who is doing that, and that is the New York Jets, because Aaron Rodgers basically has them under his thumb. Under his thumb. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I believe that Davante Adams will not only sign a contract with the New York Jets for this season, I think they're going to find a way. If they don't extend him for 2, I will not be surprised if Davante Adams signs on for 1 more season. You want to know why? Look at Aaron Rodgers' contract. Aaron Rodgers is signed through 2024 with a cap hit of $17 million, which is dirt cheap for a quarterback, especially of his magnitude, which he hasn't been, it seems, Aaron Rodgers for the last few years, but he's only going to hit you for $23 million against the cap. I'm not going to be surprised that if they're not talking about, let's get Davante for that year too. The Cowboys wanted no part of that. The Cowboys have their cap space reserved for signing Micah Parsons next season. So they were not going to give up $11 million for a rental. Guess what? Neither were the Bills. You don't think they could use another wide receiver after letting go of Stephon Diggs? And what their wide receiver core, I mean, it's not the Cowboys receiving core, but it's not much better. We don't think they could have used Davante Adams? Not even in the least bit am I even upset that the Cowboys didn't get Davante Adams. I don't even understand people. Why would we give up a 3rd-round draft pick for Davante? Ain't no way. I think he's 31. No. And not paying $11 million, knowing full well, and I'm sure this has been talked behind the scenes that no one is talking about, there's 2 years that are not guaranteed that he wants either one or both of those years guaranteed, and even if it's not $35 million, he still wants some cheese. Nah, I'll pass on Davante Adams unless he was really the only thing I needed to get to the Super Bowl. But there is another issue. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is the one that's got me a little heated. This is the one that has me heated. It is none other than, I want to pull up the headlines on this one. This one has me heated. The Buffalo Bills signed Amari Cooper from the Browns. Do y'all know we gave up Amari Cooper for a box of Cracker Jacks? We could have got Amari Cooper back for a box of Cracker Jacks. For a box of Cracker Jacks, we could have got back Amari Cooper. The Cleveland Browns converted the majority of his salary to a signing bonus, which left a prorated $635,000 somewhere in there. We could have brought him back, and it would not have even affected the salary cap money that we have reserved, I'm sure, for CeeDee Lamb. We're so emotional that we wouldn't even make that move. And the Buffalo Bills, if I'm not mistaken, the Cleveland Browns actually got more for Amari Cooper than we got trading him. What? What in the world are we doing, man? This is one of the reasons why Jerry Jones is catching all the smoke that he's catching right now. Because Jerry Jones made moves like this. And you want to know what really adds insult to injury? You brought back Zeke, but you couldn't bring back Amari Cooper? It says the Buffalo Bills acquired Amari Cooper in a trade Tuesday with the Cleveland Browns, adding a true number 1 receiver for star quarterback Josh Allen. The Bills received Cooper and a 2025 6th-round draft pick for a 2025 3rd-round pick and a 7th-round selection in 2026. The Cowboys, it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. Amari Cooper is too good to not have brought him back for a box of Cracker Jacks. It is literally insane that we, knowing, as much as I like Jalen Tolbert, as much as I like Ryan Flanoy, I'm sorry, Dak Prescott would look a whole lot better with Amari Cooper as the second wide receiver than he does with Jalen Tolbert. This is a shame. This is why Jerry Jones is catching all the smoke. Gregory says, I don't blame the Cowboys for not going after Adams. Same thing I said. It's they don't make any moves to shore up their issues this year. It's the running back last year we desperately needed the running back last year we desperately needed, and we needed a run stopper. So yes, we needed a running game and we needed a run stopper. I'm in total agreement. And he's also catching flack because he didn't go get Derrick Henry. He did not go get Derrick Henry. But you know what? I'm going to talk about that in a moment because this was the point that Jerry Jones was making to the fan, 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas. But I'm not even tripping anymore on the past moves because there's nothing that can be done about those. But the one that I am saying is, okay, you couldn't have got Amari Cooper? Roger said Jerry doesn't like when you step up to the line, boy, and tell him to face the truth. He doesn't. Torres, yes, sad. So we had an opportunity right there to get Amari Cooper. And so I'm telling us, Dallas Cowboy fans, we better get ready. Jerry Jones is sending a clear message. I'm not doing anything else this year. I'm not doing anything else to improve this team. The only thing I'm going with is what I have right now. That's what he's telling us. And I think he told us. I don't think we believed him. And that's why when Dak Prescott said, when he was being interviewed by Troy Aikman asked Dak Prescott, he said, what do you think Jerry meant when he said all in? When Dak gave his answer, and the more I think about it today, it leads me to believe that Jerry Jones had been talking to Dak Prescott through this entire ordeal. Because Dak Prescott said, I paraphrase, quote, I don't know what he meant, but what I think he meant was he's all in on the players that we have right now. You don't know what he meant, but we're seeing that that's exactly what Jerry Jones meant. Jerry Jones is going with what he has. Nothing more. Nothing more. He's going with what he has. See, me, I got another dream. I'm like, hey, man, get Hassan Reddick. Oh, I wish the Cowboys would say, hey, Jets, how about giving us Hassan Reddick? We'll give you Trey Lance. We'll give you Trey Lance. You'll have a future. You'll have a quarterback that you can start shaping into your future quarterback. Let him sit up under Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers, they may extend him one more year. I could see maybe 2027. But other than that, no more. Give him Trey Lance. Bring in Hassan Reddick. He wants a 2-year extension. Give it to him. You signed Dak Prescott for the next 4 years. You've signed CD for the next 3 years. You're going to sign Micah Parsons for another 4 years. Why not bring in Hassan Reddick? Could anybody imagine? I hate to even bring this up. Could y'all imagine Micah Parsons, Damarion Overshown, and Hassan Reddick? There's not a team in the league who'd want to see us. Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs as the corners. I think we might have to start talking about safeties. I think we may have to start talking about safeties. But could you imagine that as your core defense? Marshawn Nealon, Mozzie Smith, starting to improve more and more. Could you imagine what that defense looks like with those names? Jerry should call up the Jets right now, because I'm telling y'all, Hassan Reddick, man, you want to talk about betting on himself? Hassan Reddick has turned down every offer the Jets have made. The Jets actually offered him, we'll make you a deal to where you'll get more money this year and still be a free agent in 2025. Hassan Reddick is saying, you're not hearing me. I'm not taking the field for the New York Jets. Wow. Who knows? Maybe Devontae Adams. Maybe getting Devontae Adams will change his mind. But right now, you know what? The New York Jets are 2-4. The New York Jets are 2-4. They're in the AFC. Josh Allen is good, but he's a turnover machine. People can get mad or get glad. They got to run up against Kansas City. They got to run up against Baltimore Ravens. The Jets got to run up against the Buffalo Bills. Hassan Reddick still might not want no part of the Jets because he may see them still as going nowhere. Because right now, Aaron Rodgers hasn't showed us anything. Gregory says the past is a representative of the present and the future. Pride comes before the fall. But you know what, Gregory? I'm going to tell you something. What is the fall for Jerry Jones? What is it? Do we not understand that Jerry Jones bought this team? Do we not understand that Jerry Jones endured 0-16, 1-15, enjoyed 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, has looked at total regression for years, got back on track now with Mike McCarthy? We're 3-3. And in Jerry's mind, what's 3-3? With what this team is, y'all got to help me out. I hear everybody calling for Mike McCarthy's job, but you got to help me out. How is this 3-3 a failure? How is this a failure with this team? For everything everyone keeps talking about, Jerry Jones has not done, will not do. Can y'all help me out then? I'm watching Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. If you let everyone tell it, they got a better team than the Dallas Cowboys. Can y'all tell me how they're 2-4 and the Dallas Cowboys are 3-3? Jerry Jones has already sold out tickets, not only for this year, next year too. What can you do? What can you do? I keep hearing people talking about the pressure. The pressure? Man, people don't understand something. Jerry Jones is snapping. But Jerry Jones is a businessman. For every moment that he snaps on somebody, he keeps looking at the paperwork. And there is no decline on the popularity of the Cowboys. MB says Dak sounds so robotic. He always uses the word camaraderie. The team is far from that. Go back and watch my video right now about Dak Prescott exposing Mike McCarthy, even though I don't think he meant to do it. Dak Prescott, one of the things that Dak's a company man. And so Dak Prescott is not going to say a lot of things that goes against the company. And Dak Prescott likes Mike McCarthy. He likes him. He's a good guy. But Dak is indicting him and he doesn't even realize it because Dak is always, he's always repeating the Mike McCarthyisms. Mike McCarthy, I got a little something I'll show you here in a moment. Mike McCarthy is always talking about looking in the mirror. Every man questioning himself. I gave him a questionnaire. Man, I don't want no questionnaire. I don't want you telling me looking in the mirror. I want you to come up, Mike McCarthy, with a plan. And let's execute. Let's execute the plan. I tell folk all the time, I'm built different. I consider myself to be a man. I don't need all the fluff. A lot of folks, they need all the fluff. They need all the fluff, the patting on the back, the smiling, the shucking. I don't need it. Tell me what I'm not doing. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me how we going to do it. Now let's go do it. I don't need all that other stuff. I don't need all that other stuff. And Dak is becoming a reflection of Mike McCarthy. And while I like Mike McCarthy, and I question some things about whether we should be talking about getting rid of Mike McCarthy, my feelings will not be hurt if, for the sake of Dak Prescott and the mentality of the players, that there's a move, whether it be, okay, I'll tell you what, Mike, we like you, but you can't be the play caller for the team again. And this time we're going to get a play caller and there's nothing else we're going to tell you about it. And you're going to sit back and coach this team and that's it. Because for me, Mike McCarthy actually needs to spend all of his time working on his own motivation, because he's a very stoic person in a sense. And I think he's one of them people that it's hard for him to motivate men because of his demeanor. And a lot of men men, you got to understand something, man. God made men and women different. I'm not trying to go there, but I'm saying something. Man, a lot of men are like, show me, bro. I mean, I don't need all the sweet talking. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't need all the sweet talking, man. You ain't trying to take me out to no dinner date. Man, you know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to go out on no dinner date or, you know what I'm saying? Man, you the coach. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm built different. I don't even need the coach to like me. I don't even need the coach to like me. Man, you just need to put me in a position to win. All that other stuff will work out later. I just need you to put me in a position to win. Roger M. said the only way to make Jerry shake and move off his spot is to mess with his money. Only way. And so the question becomes, Roger, how do you do it? Because folk keep thinking, oh, yes, the ticket sales and this stuff. Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't even have to go to Texas Stadium. Jerry Jones is killing it in the TV money. Jerry Jones is a cash cow for the NFL because it is all eyes on the Dallas Cowboys anytime they step on the field. And I don't care if they were actually 1-6 going into this San Francisco. I don't care if they were 0-6 going into this San Francisco game on Sunday. I promise y'all it would still be all eyes on deck. It'd be all eyes on deck because you know what everybody be wanting to see? I want to see him go 0-7. And the next game, even if the fans stop watching, the haters going to watch because they want to see him go 0-8. Because even the fans are to the point. I'm watching fans say, I hope the Cowboys lose every game. Nah, not me. Not me. I'm not emotional like that. I'm not emotional like that. I actually want the team to win. I actually would like for Jerry to be right. Because I know that Jerry knows what he's doing. Now, let me preface that. I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I'm not saying we ought to like what he's doing. But I know that Jerry know what he's doing. Jerry knew what he was doing with the CeeDee Lamb contract. He wanted CeeDee Lamb to be the highest paid or the second highest paid wide receiver. Because if he didn't, he could have did it the year before. He could have did it in the midst of the season that the CD was having and he could have set the market. Didn't want to set the market. I wonder why, Jerry. Could have got Dak Prescott cheaper. You don't think he could have got him cheaper? Could have signed him last year. He could have signed him when Joe Burrow got his deal. Oh, y'all gonna give Joe Burrow 52? We giving Dak Prescott 53. Tell you what, Dak, we'll give you 50 because Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. Because there would be no way you'd be able to use the last 2 years because Joe ain't doing nothing. Jerry know what he doing. Jerry wanted Dak to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. So every time somebody watches the Dallas Cowboys, look at what the fans are saying. We paid him $60 million. Jerry loves it. And if y'all don't think Jerry loves it, you don't know Jerry by now. Y'all don't know Jerry by now. What's that old song go? If you don't know me by now, man, if you don't know Jerry by now, you ain't never gonna know Jerry.
He ain't lying.
Y'all ain't never gonna know Jerry. Mr. Beard said, I see what you mean. You're definitely right. Gary says, that is a fact. Yes. Fire Mike, what does he say? Fire Mike Solari. Wait a minute. Is that the offensive line coach? I think I've been hearing people talk about Mike Solari. Yes. That is the offensive line coach, correct? Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been saying that. You know what? I'll give you one even better, Buddha. I'll give you one even better. Let Mike McCarthy fire him. Mike McCarthy should have a press conference and say, I fired him. Do we not understand what that would do for this team? Y'all don't think this team sees some of the things and more that we see? That Jerry Jones is the one who running this thing. Jerry is the one. That's why Zeke played last week. Isn't it a joke that Zeke? Hey, man, I like Zeke. How does Zeke start over Rico Dowdle after Rico Dowdle has the game of his career almost against the Pittsburgh Steelers? And then Clarence Hill reports Ezekiel Elliott went and talked to the coaches. Did he? Or did he let the press know he talked to the coaches and then the real coach called downstairs and said, hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to play Zeke this week. What? Tell me where Ezekiel Elliott earned the right to be the feature back in those opening drives. There's no way. I love Zeke for short yardage, but no way should he have started. He has $25 million in cap space he's not using. He's not going to use it. He's saving it for Micah Parsons next year. That's the issue. He's not going to use it because he is cheap, and that's a fact. And I'm going to tell you the one that's really cheap. It's Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones is super cheap. Yep, all about the show. It's all about the show. Yep, O-line coach. That's who everybody's been talking about. I'd fire him. I would literally, if I was Jerry, you want some damage control, Jerry? Let Mike McCarthy fire Mike Solari. Let him do it. Let him do it. Because the O-line is terrible. Buddha said Rico only had 2 attempts in the first half. Buddha, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And even the 5 carries that he had, 5 for 25, 5 yards per yard, 5 yards per carry. Zeke had 2.1. It don't make sense. Make it make sense. He's setting up Dak to fail. No doubt. No doubt. He's setting up Dak to fail. And need 3,000 more yards to be the all-time passing leader for the Cowboys in Cowboys history. He'll get it. It might be he'll get it. It'll probably be around game 17. But I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'll tell you this part. I think what's starting to backfire on Jerry, he's getting the heat. He's getting the heat. And so people are now, they're coming out on him. All of the networks are talking about him. But, we got to understand, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about. Does that really bother him? I'm gonna bring up something here from 105.3 The Fan. I don't know if y'all heard 105. I don't know if y'all heard the exchange today between Jerry Jones and 105.3 The Fan. But hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, boy. Jerry showed out on 105.3 The Fan. Let me cue it up here. Jerry showed out, man. Let me see where I had it marked so I can go right to it. Jerry literally showed out today on The Fan. And in some respects, I understand why Jerry went off on them. Because Jerry, they asked the question the first time, and Jerry answered it and went on. And they kept on staying on the question. And I've been hearing a whole lot of people talking about, well, if Jerry would have talked to me like that, it'd have been my last day on the job, and I did this. Man, stop it. You're a professional. If I'm a journalist and I'm going to interview Mike Tyson after the Buster Douglas knockout, I need to understand that I might ask a few questions that might make Mike Tyson want to knock me out. Hey, man, how you let Buster Douglas knock you out? I mean, what happened? I mean, I got to understand. When you ask a question that poignant and that potent, you need to understand and accept what comes along with it. And don't be in your feelings if you get snapped on. Because some questions people just gonna snap because people don't like coming face to face with the truth. It is what it is. I'm going to let you hear. Let me see here. Let me get it up here. Get this ad pass. Listen to this.
Right ones for your team.
Well, first of all, where are you going to go to get any players? Seriously, where are you going to go to get any players for the next week against San Francisco? Now, number one, I've seen these players. I've seen every one of them execute like you want the plays to be executed and do their job within the role. That didn't happen the other day, and we paid the consequences for us. But I've seen the players do it. I know we have outstanding personnel, very outstanding personnel. We just made our quarterback the highest paid player in the NFL. We've just topped the receiver list charts. So we made our bed relative to how we're going to approach with our key people with the team. We were short.
Y'all didn't believe me? I'm reading between the lines on what Jerry Jones is saying. This was a part of the plan. He wanted CeeDee Lamb to be top paid wide receiver. He wanted Dak Prescott to be the highest paid quarterback. Guess why? I do believe Jerry Jones loves Dak Prescott because he's a company man. Dak Prescott is actually really talented. Unfortunately, Dak Prescott has never had the play caller that Pat Mahomes, man. If Dak Prescott could get Andy Reid, could you imagine if Dak Prescott had what Brock Purdy has in Mike Shanahan? Could you imagine if Dak Prescott had the play caller from the Detroit Lions? Could you imagine? Miss me with Kellen Moore. We're all seeing what Kellen Moore is now. He had Justin Herbert. He's with Jalen Hurts, and neither one of them look like world beaters with him. But Jerry knows that Dak Prescott, 4th round draft pick, has exceeded that draft pick. Exceeded it. You don't get second team All-Pro being okay. You don't get that not being top 5. Jerry knows what he has in Dak Prescott. He wanted him to be the highest paid. He wanted him to be the highest paid quarterback. It's a part of the plan. Because now everybody's talking, he's the highest paid quarterback. He can't do this, he can't do that. Jerry knew that was going to happen. Just listen to what he's saying. People aren't reading between the lines on what Jerry is saying.
Handed out there on defense, but everybody gets shorthanded. That's really not an excuse in the NFL. Your depth should step up there, and you should be able, if you can, to compensate to some degree. You can't compensate for the gap, so to speak, that we had between the way our offense played and the way we were supposed to play. Now, I'm going to give Detroit a lot of credit for that. They came after us and got after us, and they put guys on top of every offensive lineman you had, and they came at it and put the kind of pressure that gave Dak a lot of problems and gave our running game a lot of problems. We've got to be able to handle that.
Jerry, I think the counter back when you said where are you going to get the players, you can't get them this week is, and you're aware of all the off-season topics.
Yeah, but what is your counter? What is your damn counter?
My counter is...
I really want to know where you would go get it. Now, don't tell me about should gotten a guy in the offseason.
Why not?
This isn't a damn word argument just because I'm not arguing with you. I'm dealing with how we line up against San Francisco, not what I did wrong last week or last month or 2 months.
Wait a minute. Are y'all Jerry Jones is snapping up in here, man. Jerry said, hold on a minute. Jerry snapping up in here. Snapping up in here. Man, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Hold on, let it keep going.
Months ago or 2 years ago, if I really gave you guys a list of all the things I've done wrong over the last few years, you couldn't be on this program for the next 5 years steady and go over it. But every now and then you do some right things, and at the end of the day you add it up, and the rights give you a better spot than the wrongs. But if you think for any minute right now, there'll be one Super Bowl champion. What do the others do wrong? There's one Super Bowl champion. Now, we want to be that champion. And I'm sure not throwing the towel in today because of what happened out there Sunday. But I'm not going to sit here and waste a lot of energy, a lot of time. Let's talk about what I should have done back in 1907 or 2017. Shit, Ben. Come on. I've got more time than that, and I actually don't even have time on this great show for looking back at decisions.
Okay.
Now, I want y'all to see kind of where I am on this, because I've been seeing a lot of the responses. The Bible teaches us to treat the older men like fathers. And I made a point to folks before. It didn't say they were going to be smarter than us. It didn't say they were going to be wise and making all the right decisions. But we got to understand there's a certain type of etiquette that we need to keep when we're talking to older men. And I'm going to tell you something about older men. Because I come from an era, if you were told once, the second time you wake up the next day. I mean, I'm just saying. And if you catch what happened, they not only hit it one time, he came back with a counterpoint. And that's why Jerry said, what's your counter? Jerry saying something. Put some respect on my name. Now, we know that Jerry is wrong. We know this, people. So we don't have to argue whether or not Jerry is wrong. But let us keep it 100% real. What they're doing, they're poking the bear. Jerry has already gave him the answer. Jerry has already said, if anybody's paying attention, Jerry said, I'm not going to answer for mistakes that I've made in the past. Jerry said, I'm pressing on. Jerry said, I'm pressing on like Paul, Roderick. He said, I'm pressing on. I forget the things that lie behind, even if I did make a mistake. Even if I am the reason why this team is terrible. I'm pressing on and I'm going on. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to elaborate. Y'all know why Jerry is saying this? If we all get out of our emotions, Jerry is telling us something. He knows what he's doing. Not that he knows what he's doing as in we're agreeing with what he's doing. Jerry is saying, I got a plan. And I'm not letting y'all in on it, and I don't care if y'all like it or not. I know what I'm doing. I've executed the first part of the plan. I made Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the league. I didn't do 55. I didn't do 57. I did 60. I made CeeDee Lamb the second highest paid. And guess what? I got cap space. And I'm getting ready to make Micah Parsons one of the highest paid defensive players in the league. I'm getting ready to do that too. It's part of the plan. And I'm going to do it with a bunch of young guys. I'm going back in the draft next year, and I'm going to get me a top running back. I'm going to see if I can get me another defensive lineman, get me another offensive lineman, because I want to do it Jerry's way. I'm going to do it through the draft. And who knows? Jerry might surprise us next year, because if he winds up getting a new coach to appease that new coach, guess what he might do? And I might even dibble and dabble a little bit in free agency. But watch this. Just keep listening. Watch this.
So, Jerry, 1970, a little different from this past off season in building the team we're talking about today, which there was a lot of criticism that you guys didn't add, didn't spend, and don't add, and don't spend, and are not aggressive enough with some of the problems that are still haunting the Cowboys today that we see play out on the field. That's the point of talking about the off season.
I remember those criticisms very well. Okay, so what?
Are they playing out to be accurate?
What's your point?
My point is, it seems like
Listen, let me tell you what I'll do. Let me tell you what I'll do about it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio, and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there this morning. I'm not. And I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me, to talk about, this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask
y'all
why.
get a job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights?
Well,
now, listen, we both know we're talking to a lot of great fans and a lot of great listeners. And I am very sorry for what happened out there Sunday. I'm sick about what happened Sunday. Now, I'm not talking to these yahoos on the end of this phone. I'm talking to you, the fans that are listening this morning. And we can spend a lot of time going over zigging and zagging. One of the stupidest things I've ever done that anybody has ever analyzed is by the Cowboys. It was an idiot that did that. So idiot things can turn into good decisions. Okay? Smart things can turn into bad decisions. The facts are that when you make one, you don't really know whether it's going to be good or not at the time. So let's just go ahead. I'm trying to answer your questions, man. You want some conversation this morning? You're getting it.
Jerry Jones here on the Fan. Jerry, you work.
Jerry snapping. Let me read some comments real quick, and then I'm going to come back and tell you. Because, you see, a lot of folk, they're so emotional. And I've just learned over the years. Hold on a second. Don't get emotional when you're hearing someone snap. Let's step back and understand what they were doing on the Fan. The reality is Jerry Jones answered their question the first 2 times. They didn't like the answer they were getting, so I guess for the fan base, they're going to keep on poking the bear, and they want an answer from Jerry Jones. And so they got what they wanted, even though they didn't want what they got. So let's go through here. Worst home loss in franchise history, meaning this team is going in the wrong direction. I'm going to comment on that too. Ron says, Jerry the jerk. Gary said, no doubt. Buddha said, Jerry's a clown. Let's not live in the 90s Cowboys. Let's live in the current times, Jerry. Yep. Face orange, raised eyebrow. Ron says, your job is to win games, Jerry. You suck at your job as both a GM and an owner. You know what, Ron? We got to start questioning this, because I don't know if Jerry thinks that is his job. I just wonder if Jerry thinks his job is to make the Dallas Cowboys the most popular team in the world, because if that's his job, he's done it. Roger says, yep, I don't know, Elder. It's some old dummies out there. Exactly, it is, but it still says treat them like fathers. Sometimes you got to say, hey, you know what? You ever talk to an old person and they be trying to tell you something, and they don't even know what they talking about, and you just say, oh, okay, yeah, I got you, I understand. And you walk off and go, they don't have a clue what they talking about. Because you already know. Ron says, well, I'm retired and Jerry can't fire me. There it is, Ron. There it is. How long does this player need to develop? I'm going to go there in just a second. Gary said, I hope Jerry wakes up. He said he sleep, Gary. Rowdy says, facts. Boycott the Cowboys and leave the stadium empty. Ron, you can leave the stadium empty all you want to. Football fans do not understand something. Man, them stadium seats. Let me tell you something. Tex Schramm said this. Tex Schramm, former owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Tex Schramm said his dream is is that nobody watches football in stadiums. His dream is that everyone watches football on TV. Watch it virtually. New innovations. That's what he said. And there are already places that you can go to and watch football games and pay for them and actually not be there, and it looks almost like you're there. They're making the money off the TV money. And guess who brought that in? Let me tell you what Jerry just told the fan. Y'all remember the Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless incident when Shannon Sharpe took his glasses off? When Skip Bayless told him, you jealous of Tom Brady because he better than you. He better than you at what you do. And he's got more Super Bowls than you. And Shannon Sharpe was so upset. Shannon Sharpe said, man, I'm a bleeping Hall of Famer. And Shannon Sharpe says, so what? I mean, Skip Bayless says, so what? Put your glasses back on. Do y'all know that this is Jerry Jones in the place of Shannon Sharpe, in a sense, saying, you're going to give me credit for what I've done. I bought this team when it was worth nothing. I bought this team when it was no longer winning. I bought this team and made it into a winner. I bought this team and I made it into not only the best, not only the largest football franchise in the world. It is the largest, it is the most highly rated, it is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the most high valued sports franchise in the world. You know what Jerry's saying? I'm in the bleeping Hall of Fame. Do y'all know Jerry's in the Hall of Fame? For what not only he did for the Cowboys, for what he did for the NFL. Do y'all know who the architect is of the salary cap? That ironically is the one thing that Jerry Jones can't overcome. He's the architect of it. Because he was forward seeing and understanding from a business perspective, the NFL is not being ran right. He said, I'm Jerry bleeping Jones. So we got to ask ourselves, is Jerry Jones as concerned about winning Super Bowls as he is about bringing the NFL money? Do y'all know who is the architect of this stuff? It's Jerry Jones. It's Jerry bleeping Jones. He's the architect behind the TV money, the endorsement deals for the NFL, the endorsement deals for the teams. Who do you think got these teams building these huge stadiums everywhere? Guess who was the first one to do it? Jerry said, I'm Jerry bleeping Jones, man. I'm Jerry bleeping Jones. So we got to, I said this from the beginning, we need to understand something about Jerry. Jerry is talking that y'all don't understand something. I'm dealing with two different fan bases. I'm dealing with the fan base of the Dallas Cowboys and I'm dealing with the haters of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not only dealing with the fan base of the Cowboys, inside of that I'm dealing with the fan base of the whole NFL. I'm the one giving teams money to help them build stadiums. I'm the one putting these stadiums everywhere, showing them the blueprint on how to get them built in these low-income neighborhoods or whatever, how they're getting them done. I'm the one who got them taking these teams overseas. Jerry Jones is saying something, people ain't even hearing him. You know what he was telling that dude on the fan? He wasn't telling him it's not your job. See, people are misinterpreting that. Jerry is telling them something. I don't answer to you. That's what Jerry is telling him. I don't answer to you. Do y'all catch what he said? It's my job to ask you the question. Jared, no. That's not your job. Your job is not over me. You don't question me. This is the conversation they're having. The people not even realizing it. Jerry is saying, you hear what he said? You're not throwing the dishwater out with the you're not throwing this out with the dishwater. You hear what he's saying? You're not throwing what I've achieved out just based on what I'm doing with the Dallas Cowboys. Listen to what he's saying, people. Listen to what he's saying. And some people are saying, Jerry Jones was trying to replace the people on the fan. Y'all not hearing something. Jerry went another step further, and we're not even hearing it. He wasn't telling them, I can get you fired. Jerry's a businessman. Jerry ain't tripping on 105.3. Jerry is saying, I can take my business elsewhere and get interviewed by people. I don't need to replace you. I'll go get people who will want to interview me. I'll give them my business. You saw he gave it to Stephen A. Smith, don't you? Y'all don't think Jerry Jones, if Jerry Jones offered every week to other networks, offered a press conference every single week, you don't think they pay top dollar? What? FS1 would pay top dollar for Jerry Jones to come on there every morning. ESPN would pay top dollar for them to come on there. I'm telling y'all, you're not hearing what Jerry Jones said. Jerry Jones said, I'm Jerry bleeping Jones. You are not over me. I don't answer to you. That's why he kept saying stuff like, see, you dealing on the surface. Are we seeing what I'm saying? You dealing just with the Cowboys. I'm dealing with the whole NFL. Y'all better listen to what Jerry Jones is saying. Jerry Jones is saying something, man. Y'all talking about the Cowboys. Man, I'm talking about the whole NFL up in here. Listen closely what he's saying. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I got people watching. I got people buying tickets. I got all the news stations talking. I got everybody wanting to cover the Cowboys because when we come up against the San Francisco 49ers, guess what? It's all eyes on the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry is telling them something and people not listening. Jerry is saying something. I may not know how to win football games, but I know how to win fans. Boycott the Cowboys and leave the stadiums. He ain't worried about you leaving the stadiums. They getting the TV money. He should have went with Bill Belichick this time. Roberta, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think that Bill Belichick is the coach for this team. I don't think he's the coach for this team because we saw Bill Parcells be the coach for this team, and that didn't work out because Bill Parcells started complaining about not being able to buy the groceries. Jerry Jones is not letting Bill Belichick buy the groceries. And as a matter of fact, appreciate your comments, Sister Roberta. Keep on commenting. Let me tell you something. Can y'all tell me what Bill Belichick did before Tom Brady? And then tell me what he did after Tom Brady? He was great as a defensive coordinator, but when he became coach, he was terrible. He was terrible until he got Tom Brady. And Tom Brady proved the point. Y'all think this was 50-50, me and Tom? All right, y'all think this 50-50? Let's see him do it without me. Let's let him get a top 10 pick in the draft and go get a quarterback when they got Mac Jones. Let's see him rework that magic. Oh, wait a minute. Did he not just go get Mac Jones? Y'all help me with Bill Belichick. Did he not just go get Mac Jones or did he go get also Cam Newton? Did he go get Cam Newton too? Couldn't even do it with Cam Newton. Nah. People need to rethink this thing about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is defensive minded. If you want him to be your defensive coordinator, okay. But no, you don't want him to be your head coach. You don't want him to be your head coach. A lot of people think that, but you don't want him to be your head coach. Jerry only understands money. You getting it now, Ron? You getting it now? So hit him in the pocketbook. But the problem is, how you going to hit him in the pocketbook? How you going to hit him? Then why has his plan not been for 9 years with Dak when he was cheaper? Now it's going to work because he's more expensive. But that's his plan. You got to ask yourself, Roger, is it to win? Is it to win or is it to draw attention? I can tell you right now, Dak Prescott is drawing all kinds of attention because it's all eyes on him. And I'm sick of people talking about he ain't worth $60 million. I'm sorry, you don't get a Ferrari and you don't get a Lamborghini and then put cheap tires on it. You don't get a Lamborghini and put cheap gas in it. I said it yesterday. Y'all tell me this. I asked this same question yesterday. You name me one company. One company, excluding the Dallas Cowboys. Name me one company that goes out and gets or makes someone in the company the highest paid person in the company they're leading the company, and then say, we're going to give you inadequate and incompetent talent around you. You know what they typically do? They surround them with talent. They surround them with talent. They do. The Dallas Cowboys haven't done that. Ooh, yeah. Whoa, Rod, man. Appreciate the stars, bro. First pay. I think the emojis that you see, wrong direction. Hey, Jerry know where he's going. Jerry wouldn't have won anything without Jimmy Johnson. Yep. And you know what, Ron? Let's give Jerry credit from this perspective. And Jerry couldn't take this credit is because his pride was too much. But Jerry does deserve some credit for those 90 Cowboys because none of those things get done unless he signs off on them. None of those things gets done unless he signs off on them. Jerry signed off on those things. And Jerry gets a lot of credit for the Herschel Walker trade. Jerry willed and dealed that. Jerry gets some credit. Problem is Jerry wanted all the credit. Half of Dallas Stadium is filled with other teams' fans anyway. Jay, you better say it. You better say it, Jay. The other teams travel because they want to be a part of the spectacle of beating the Dallas Cowboys. Hit that like button for this man. Appreciate you, Gary. I'm telling you, Ron, Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than the entire Cowboys organization. And he says the Cowboys sucks. Who's right and who's wrong, Jerry? Ron, but let me tell you something. Did you listen to what Tom Brady said? He said Dak Prescott ain't got a chance. And he didn't say it like that, but he said he has no offensive line. He has no defense. He has no running game. He has no wide receivers that can get separation. Tom said it. Tom said it straight up. What's going on, Nisi? Yes. The Hall of Fame needs to take that jacket back. Hey, but you got to understand why they gave him the jacket. They're recognizing what he did for the NFL. Hey, he bought this team with his daddy money. Just be real. Come from all the Orr family. Hey, he might have bought it with his daddy money, but I'm telling y'all, Jerry is the architect. And everybody recognizes it. He is. The NFL is not the NFL without Jerry Jones. It's not the NFL without Jerry Jones, and he knows it. He knows it. What's going on, Angie? What's going on? Ron said AT&T needs to buy the Cowboys out. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They can't do it. He's worth $10 billion. Man, I'm telling you, Jerry ain't giving this thing up. Look, the only way to take Jerry down is do what a Fortune 500 company does to take down a rival. Create a product better and the price is cheaper and take his fans' revenue away. Who is it? Who that product? It's not the Houston Texans. Who is it? Who is it? I mean, I don't think people understand, man. Jerry's saying something. Jerry was basically telling the fan, I'm Jerry bleeping Jones. You don't understand what I've done in this league. Hey, Ron, you right. You play to win the game. So, Ron, let's ask our questions. Let's ask ourselves this question. What game is Jerry playing? Which game is Jerry playing? Is he playing to win the Super Bowl or is he playing to get his pockets fat and get the NFL more popular? Which one is he playing? Which one is he playing and which one gets priority? Jerry, no. That's why I'm telling y'all. I'm listening to what Jerry is saying. Jerry is saying, I know what I'm doing. And I don't answer to you and I'm not going to tell you my plan. He's telling us if we, and you're right, Angie, you said this nonsense gave me a headache. You got to understand, I've taken a couple of years of Greek and Hebrew, so I understand sometimes you have to be, you have to be able to translate sometimes what people are saying. That's one of the things I've learned in American literature. So you have to go back and listen sometimes to what they're saying. You got to learn, we got to learn how to read between the lines and look at what people are doing versus what they're, look at what they're doing and how it's going along with what they're saying. I mean, I'm telling y'all, Jerry ain't mad. Y'all got to ask yourselves, is Jerry mad because he's losing? I believe that Jerry is partially mad because he's losing. But I don't think Jerry's mad because he's losing. I think Jerry is mad because people is calling him out on what he's doing. I think that's what Jerry is saying. That's why Jerry is mad. 1907 killed me. Yo, $25 million in cap space. You're not doing nothing with it today. He's not. He's not going to do anything with it, Buddha. He's already getting ready to sign Michael Parsons. He's already getting ready to do it. Yes, I see Jerry won his Super Bowls. It's about the overall money for the NFL. People better recognize. Man, Jerry's about that paper. Cleveland fired Bill. You better believe they did. Guess who else fired him, Niecy? What I dare say, the New England Patriots, the team that he went to 10 Super Bowls with and won 7 out of 10. Man, they said, bro, you killing the franchise. You're killing the franchise. Tom Brady afforded him so much leeway that not even he realized it. He didn't even realize how much, I mean, in the beginning, Bill had those defenses humming. But as time went on, Tom Brady, with his, this man was cerebral. He was winning so many games for them. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Tom Brady too. And that's why when Tom Brady tells me that Dak Prescott, what's going on with Dak Prescott is that they have set him up to fail, I believe him. Romo chokes to be real. Hey, I'm going to tell you something, though. I tell you this. Buddha, you can tell me anything you want to, brother, but I tell you this. Tony Romo would have ate with them 90s Cowboys teams, and so would Dak Prescott. And with Jimmy Johnson, they'd have ate. You don't go to games, you hurt Jerry's ego. You know what? You might hurt his ego, but you ain't not going to hurt his pockets as much as you think. Jerry making 10 times for signing Dak for $60 million. Call, you better say it loud for the people in the back, man. TBE Trucking. No credit. Sorry. Hey, that's what he's saying, though. He said, man, I'm Jerry bleeping Jones, man. He said Jerry needs to pay his players on time. He wonders why teams' morale is affected on the field. Yes, he did. And I think that's one of the things that Jerry did. My dad and my granddaughter get credit for that to this day. They brag about how they talked to Herschel Walker before he signed and told him to come to the Cowboys. True story. Hey, man, they turned that thing into, that 90s Cowboys, they turned that Herschel Walker trade into a dynasty, man. Jimmy will always be the reason. Yep, Jimmy. But y'all give Jerry some credit. Jimmy and Jerry were working together. But the problem is Jerry wanted all the credit. He wanted all the credit. And we got to give Jimmy credit because Jimmy, the one thing about Jimmy is he was able to put a team, people don't give Jimmy credit for the actual coaches he put around the team. He put some serious coaches around the team. And Jerry, Jerry helped too. But Jimmy, I get Jimmy 65 to 70% of the credit. He only answers the money, Roger. You got it. He's only mad because they lost on his birthday. He only mad because they lost on his birthday. You know what? Speaking of his birthday, let me show you again. People don't understand, man. Jerry, the one thing I will say, Jerry ain't used to folks giving him the accountability for this stuff, man. He's not used to it. Jerry snapped. Let me see if I got it here. Man, Jerry snapped on Sunday night. I thought I had it pulled up. Let me see here. Jerry literally snapped on Sunday night. Okay, the tab that I had it up on crashed. Let me pull it up. Jerry snapped on Sunday night, and that's going to lead us to the next part here. I want to talk about, because I'm telling y'all, man, I'm reading between the lines on some of this stuff that Jerry Jones is saying, and it's making sense to me what Jerry is saying, even if no one is hearing it. Jerry Jones knows exactly what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And what he's mad about is people are now calling him to the carpet on the things that he's doing. And Jerry ain't too much liking it. Let me see here. I got it right here. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. I was laughing. I've been laughing at this one for a couple of days.
Where you are right now in a team that's at the top of the NFC like that?
Yeah, but well, we're disappointed that we're 3-3. Players will tell you they had something to do with it too, as other part of the staff will tell you, and the owner sure will tell you he had something to do with it.
Okay, hold on. Here it is right here.
Okay, well, I'm not going hypothetical with you about when I'd consider coaching.
Okay, now I'm going to set this up again for y'all. Part of the reason why Jerry keeps snapping on these folk, they're asking the question. Jerry's giving the answer. But because Jerry isn't giving them, y'all got to understand, the media is playing the game too. The media is playing the game too. And I think that's one of the reasons why our fan base is in such disarray. Because we're listening so much to the media that we're starting to sound like them. Not understanding and listening to stuff that Jerry is saying. Jerry is giving us the answers. We're just not liking the answers that he's giving. Jerry's giving the answers. Jerry is telling folks everything they want they want to know. The problem is they're mad because he's saying it so matter-of-factly like it's no big deal. So they're going to ask Jerry the question. He's going to answer it. They don't like the answer. They want some headlines. And they got them. They got them too. They got the headlines they wanted because you saw the next day everybody was reporting how Jerry snapped in this press conference. So I'm going to let you hear the early part of this conversation, how Jerry answers the question, how Jerry answers the very question that gets asked later. Let's roll it.
A family member talking. You're not looking at somebody on the outside packing his bags and leaving. So the address here will be from within, with each other, have each other's backs. We're well aware of the climate out here right now about our team. We're going to have to work through this.
Did he not just say from within? So for all you folks crying about Devontae Adams, and I'm crying about Amari Cooper, and I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was hoping against hope. For all us folk who keep, what is Jerry going to do? Jerry's been saying at every turn what he going to do. Listen.
Head coach something that you're evaluating during this bit?
No.
Detroit is
no. Work through this.
Is the head coach something that you're evaluating during this bit?
No.
Did y'all hear what the guy just asked him? Let me play it again.
Have each other's backs. We're well aware of the climate out here right now about our team. We're going to have to work through this.
Is the head coach something that you're evaluating during this bit?
No.
Is the head coach something you're evaluating during this time? Jerry didn't even blink. He said no. Jerry said no. Did y'all catch it? I just want to make sure we all heard Jerry say no. No, no, no. Jerry said no. Now let me get to the next part. I will show you why Jerry gonna snap now. Watch Jerry snap. Let me see. Right about here.
I know you don't need to hear me say this, but I'm well aware that we're in the proverbial right now.
Jerry,
okay.
What would it take you to evaluate making a head coaching change in season?
Oh, I haven't even considered that. I'm not considering that. Just so you're clear, I'm not considering that.
But you've done it once before.
I wouldn't be a hypothetical in that matter. Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you?
When Jerry asked that question, I bet everybody right now in the chat said, "We think you're an idiot." I bet there were actually reporters, if they were not afraid to be banned from from the melee that would have took place afterwards, I bet you everybody in unison would have said, "We think you're an idiot." But Jerry, let's see. Jerry snapping. Let's play it again.
Making a head coaching change in season.
Oh, I haven't even considered that. I'm not considering that. Just so you're clear, I'm not considering that.
But you've done it once before.
I wouldn't be a hypothetical in that matter. Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you? Okay, well, I'm not going hypothetical with you about when I'd consider coaching change in light of the timing we're sitting here with. I'm not at all.
What do you think of the job?
Excuse me?
What do you think of the
Man, y'all gotta excuse me, man. Man, boy, let me tell y'all something. Jerry out here snapping. And if y'all don't think This man, just look at this. This is a man right here. Let me tell y'all something about Jerry Jones. I would not want him. I'm going to tell you, I would want Jerry Jones to be the owner of a business that I'm in. I would want him to be the owner because your business is going to make money. Now, if it has something to do with winning or losing and we could draw the line on that part right there, I'm going to tell y'all something. Jerry Jones is bar none. This man is bar none. There's a reason why he's been so successful in business. He's a person that's not only willing to take chances, but Jerry Jones is a person, if you have not realized, look at this man's face. This is a man right here, as scary as he looks. He is resolute with his decisions no matter what anyone says. He's resolute. And we can say anything we want to say about Jerry. Hey, man, with Jerry, what you see is what you get pretty much. Whatever decision. And that's what he was telling them on the fan. I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to sit back and be thinking about, I didn't get Derrick Henry. Should have got Derrick Henry. I'm not going to think about, I cut Amari Cooper for Cracker Jacks. Shouldn't have cut Amari Cooper. I'm not going to look back on Stephon Gilmore, which I should have kept. And now I'm having all kinds of cornerback issues. Should have kept Stephon Gilmore. Jerry Jones is saying, I don't care what bad move I made. I'm not looking back. Love him or hate him. This is our owner, y'all. Love him or hate him. This is the owner that we have. This is the owner. This is the owner. He's resolute. This is resolute. Nisi, you said they said yes. Hey, they said it in their mind. They didn't say it out loud. They didn't say it out loud, but they definitely said it in their mind. Man, I'm telling you. Dennis, Jerry is your problem. You don't think he know? Jerry, y'all are not catching it, are you? I'm spelling it out. Jerry know he the problem. Jerry know he the problem. Joe Blow says, yes, you an idiot. Jerry know he the problem. Jerry is full blown. Hey, let me tell you something, Dennis. I've learned something about folks sometimes who play crazy. I've been around folk who play crazy. They play like they play crazy. They play like they don't know they know full well what's going on. Their aim is not the same. That's what we don't get a lot of times. Their aim is not the same. They don't have the same aim. He only cares about money, not winning. Hey, that's it. And you know what? If he can win, I think he wants to win. But which part of winning is more important? Y'all don't understand something. You know how the majority of us operate? We operate on a plane that Jerry don't operate on. Most people operate on a plane of where they want everyone to like them. And I don't agree with what Jerry Jones is doing with the team, but I'm going to tell you about people who are highly successful like him in business, and even highly successful in depending upon what they do. One of the reasons why I will declare that Michael Jordan is the all-time GOAT, because Michael Jordan was one of them people, the social media era wasn't here, and this social media era has destroyed the brains of many because we all want to be liked. But Jerry is operating on a plane to where he wants to be loved and hated. Most people don't operate on that plane. Who operates on that plane? Michael Jordan operated on that plane. He loved the people who loved him, but he loved the people that hated him too, because it fueled him. There are people who operate on those planes. I'm one of those people in the profession that I'm in. I mean, people sometimes get mad at me because I say straight up, I don't care who like me. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here to tell the truth. And that rubs people the wrong way. My wife sometimes will say, oh, I wish you wouldn't say that. You know what? But I'm just the type of person that I'm telling the truth. It's not that I'm necessarily wanting people to dislike me, but I want people to know you disliking me don't change what I do. I mean, I'm gonna still do what I do. And as a matter of fact, you hating me just makes me do what I do even more. So Jerry Jones is operating on a plane that most of us can't understand. This man ain't operating on a plane of wanting everybody to like him and winning so he can win the fan base. He already got the fan base. He got the fan base. Rod said, and you're that old and sitting in your way. Ain't no going. But man, you better tell him something, Rod. You ain't teaching the old dog new tricks. You ain't teaching the old dog new tricks. Nobody close to him tells him the truth. They tell him sweet little kissing lies. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, Dennis. I've heard stories of Steven challenging him. Have y'all noticed something that Jerry Jones has done I'm thinking it's the last 4 months in particular. Y'all hadn't noticed, have you? Steven Jones done faded to the background. I can remember Steven Jones was doing a lot of yakking. About 6 months ago, last year, you were seeing a lot of Steven Jones. I thought that Jerry was about to step to the side and Steven was about to take over. You noticed something the last 4 months? When Jerry Jones signed CeeDee Lamb, when Jerry Jones signed Dak Prescott, did you notice who now has been getting all the limelight? It's Jerry Jones. I think people do challenge him. Do we not realize he wanted to sign the dude from our area, Terrell? He wanted to sign Johnny Manziel. They told him no. He wanted to sign that Denver Broncos quarterback, the real tall kid. I forgot his name. They told him no. But Jerry has here recently, Jerry has stepped back into the forefront as if he's saying, I run this team. I'm tripping on what he's done lately because I'm like, you're not hearing nothing from Steven anymore. Jerry is saying, I'm running this team. That's it, Rowdy Coyote. You can't teach a old dog new tricks. Jerry is really thinking I should fire Steven. He's the one that is pocket watching. Hey, you know what? He is. He is. I mean, you want to talk about the real stingy when it's Steven. Yep, the truth hurts. He's another Trump. Jerry is nuts. Bad publicity, still good publicity. Hey, I'm going to tell you something, James. You said another Trump. Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. And I ain't going to make this political. But I'm going to tell y'all something about Donald Trump. You can hate him all you want to. But the one thing we know about Donald Trump, he know business. America is a business. And that's why the country was running the way it was running. We weren't paying this much for groceries and gas and all these things that's going crazy right now and wars and rumors of wars because Donald Trump, love him or hate him, know how to run business. He does. He's always been successful in business. Even in sometimes he's had bankruptcy. He know how to run a business. I'm telling us. And so this is the same thing in a sense. You can say Jerry is like Trump in that regard because, man, Jerry has made this NFL rich, and it's a fact. Bad publicity, still good publicity. Jerry understands that. Jerry doesn't understand truth and reality. Ron, I'm telling you, man, you're not hearing me. Jerry know exactly what he doing. He know, Niecy. Paxton Lynch, girl, I'm telling you a sports savant, man. Paxton Lynch, no longer even in the league. No longer even in the league. Yes. Bullet says Jerry Jones showed his cause. He's just like a certain presidential candidate. Only way he'll understand is the pocketbook. Stop buying merchandise. Stop buying game tickets. But Bullet. But this is where I'm saying this again. But how do you do that to someone when this economy is built on commerce? It's built on commerce. And so you need somebody that understands commerce. You really do. You need someone like, and Jerry, you know what? The NFL is what Jerry, the NFL needed Jerry. It did. The NFL needed Jerry. It did. The NFL was nothing before Jerry came along. And that's what Jerry was telling 105.3 The Fan. You don't know what I know? Listen to what he's telling them. I don't answer to you. You don't know what I know. You didn't hear what he said? You come into these meetings with these 32 teams, and since you have all the answers, because Jerry knows something, you don't have the answers. And we're looking from the fan perspective, and we should. We should. Because at the end of the day, we want a football team that's going to win. We all want a football team that's going to win. How many draft picks for Micah? Name your price, Jerry. Man, let me tell you. So you think Jerry Jones getting rid of Micah Parsons? Let me tell y'all something about Micah Parsons. And why Jerry Jones loves Micah Parsons and why the NFL loves Micah Parsons. Y'all don't understand that Micah Parsons is doing something that in about 5 years, the majority of the players will be doing in the NFL. Do y'all not realize that by Micah Parsons doing a podcast on Monday, you know why Jerry Jones hasn't stopped him? Because it brings more attention to the Dallas Cowboys. You know why the NFL hasn't passed a rule that players can't podcast about the NFL on their day off? Because it brings more attention to the NFL. Do we not realize the entire NFL, the way they are doing this is it's not for them? Y'all think about this. Y'all know why did they put the salary cap in place? They no longer wanted the dynasties. They no longer wanted the Green Bay Packers of the 60s and the 70s. They no longer wanted the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s and a little bit of the 80s. They no longer wanted the Dallas Cowboys of the 70s and the 80s. They no longer wanted the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s. They no longer wanted the dynasty teams. They want parity. Y'all don't understand something. Tom Brady will forever for me be the GOAT of the NFL because he's an anomaly. What this man did, 10 Super Bowls, 7 out of 10 in a salary cap era? What? They did this in a salary cap era. The NFL don't want those dynasties. You know why? Because nobody wants to tune in, at least in their opinion. And you got to understand, did it not work? Do y'all know there was a time that we pretty much knew who was going to be in the Super Bowl from the very first game of the season? Who didn't know the Dallas Cowboys were going to be in the Super Bowl? Now, they surprised everybody in 92. They didn't surprise anybody in 93. Surprised everybody in 94 because of what took place. But the team was so good, didn't surprise nobody in 95. You got Deion Sanders, you got Charles Haley. Who was surprised? They don't want that. They don't want you tuning in just like this year. They don't want you tuning in saying, well, we know the Kansas City Chiefs are going on the AFC side. And then on the NFC side, we got, and I don't even think we can even put a team there. But they don't want that. You know what they'd rather have? They'd rather have everybody be 10-7, 9-8. Parity. It brings more interest to the game. You want to know why they put a playoff system in college football? How else were they going to stop Alabama? How else were they going to do it? And they got more money in the process because the playoff system is way more money than the bowl game system. Y'all got to understand, man, this ain't just about winning football games. It is for us. It's not for them. It's not for them. Then it says, how many draft picks for Michael? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would, but he ain't giving him up. Jerry ain't giving up Micah Parsons, man. He's too good for the team. He brings too much attention. The Cowboys are merchandising business that plays football on the side. Man, you better believe it. I mean, they're making a killing. Michael is a little Jerry. He's about to brand. You better say it, Niecy. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Do y'all not realize people, they're building brands. They know they can build brands once they be on the Cowboys. People don't understand something. Dak Prescott will be a billionaire before it's over. He'll be a billionaire before it's over. One thing people don't understand about Dak Prescott, and everyone talks about it behind the scenes, he is cerebral. He knows the game. He knows what he's looking at. He is cerebral. Right now, he just don't have the players. He don't have the system. He don't have the scheme. We don't know what we're doing right now these first 6 games, but we're gonna see what we're doing out this bye week. Dak Prescott gets out of playing football. He going straight to the booth. Tony Romo, Troy Aikman. We're not counting Jason Witten. Dak Prescott. Watch what I tell you. You think Tom Brady got a big deal? Dak Prescott will do the same. He will do the same. Nisi, the Bills. Girl, let me tell you something. I was just about to mention them. People do not understand the Buffalo Bills don't get enough credit. They did something that is insane. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Let that sink in. 4 straight Super Bowls. And had it not been for that super team that the Dallas Cowboys had, they probably win one of them. All in was a slap in the face to your Cowboys fans. Entire NFL feels bad for you. Just nasty for him to say that. I'm telling you, Dennis, Dak Prescott said it. And that's why I started realizing that Jerry and Dak must have been talking behind the scenes. Because Dak in the interview said, I don't really know what Jerry is meant by that, but I tell you what I think he meant. Strange that you told us what you thought he meant, and it's dead on. He's all in on the players that he has. Did he not say that in the interview? When he told him that I'm not getting rid of Mike McCarthy? I'm rolling with the players that I have. And this is why I want to pose this question to all of us for the last 30 minutes here. I pose this question to all of us. So, with everything that I've been hearing all of us say, is it really fair to say we want to get rid of Mike McCarthy? I mean, is it fair to say we should get rid of Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy, knowing, now we've all been talking about how crazy Jerry Jones is. With as crazy as we all have agreed that Jerry Jones is, do we not realize that Mike McCarthy has won 12 games, 3 seasons in a row with this crazy man? Tell me how you pull it off. Bill Parcells couldn't do it. Roberta, y'all ponder that question. I'm going to come right back. I want to read some comments. Roberta said that part of that is Taylor Swift job with the Kansas City. You know what? That's an element. Everybody's wondering what's going on with that. That is an element that the NFL wants to bring to the NFL. One of the draws of the NBA. See, the NBA is different because you see the players' faces, and they're still not as popular as the NFL. But you see the players' faces. Not only do you see the players' faces, they have courtside to where basically you're in danger at any play for a 6'5" to 7'1" player jumping on you on the front row because it's right there on the floor. You know who get a lot of those floor seats? Famous people. A lot of famous people get those floor seats. And you can see their faces. The NFL, because the way the stadiums are built, the crowds are so large, they can't capitalize on that. They're trying to figure out, how do we capitalize on that? Because you don't see a lot of stars. You ever notice? Football is so great because the fan base, you don't see stars, you see fans. The NFL wants to change that. They want the Ice Spices. They want the Taylor Swifts. They want, if they can get those stars to come to those games, because the NBA gets some popularity because of who's sitting courtside. So they would love to have that same effect. That's why, Roberta, they keep showing Taylor Swift. They're showing Taylor Swift more than Pat Mahomes' wife. Why? Pat Mahomes' wife isn't famous. You would think they'd be showing Dak Prescott's girlfriend, probably soon to be wife, all day. She's not famous. They want to capitalize on some famous people. So that's why they're doing some of these things with Taylor Swift and all of that. But I ask y'all, so do y'all think it's right that we're talking about getting rid of Mike McCarthy? Bullet, Mike podcast is a distraction. Yeah, they like it. Brings attention to the league. The 70s fan, it's insane, isn't it? They lost 4 straight Super Bowls. 4 straight. It's crazy. I like the Buffalo Bills as well. I have a couple of backup teams that I cheer for, but I love football, so I'm watching it all day Saturday and all day Sunday. I don't like college football, but I do like Colorado. And the only reason I like Colorado is because I'm a big Deion Sanders fan. I don't know what I'm going to do once Shador and Shiloh leave, and who knows, once his sons go, that's going to be the real test for Deion Sanders. Who knows, he might leave the Buffaloes. CC said, and he shouldn't be. Mike can cook without Jerry. Woo! Rowdy Coyote. Wow. No, it's not fair, but we are emotional now. Mike wasn't given a fair chance.
He ain't lying.
She ain't lying. Do we not realize what this man has done with this crazy Dr. Frankenstein that we're talking about? He's won 12 wins, 3 seasons in a row. And if we want to be 100% real, 100% real, Jerry Jones never got Dan Quinn what he needed to really take that defense to the next level. Wouldn't even get him Bobby Wagner. We were playing safeties at linebacker. Jordan Love said it best. He said, when we came out there and saw y'all had safeties at linebacker, he said, it's a wrap. We made Jordan Love look like Joe Montana. Well, it's easy when you can run the ball because now you're going to kill him with the play action. The 70s fans say, I don't see another 12 wins. I don't either, but I see double-digit wins. It's not going to surprise me if the Cowboys are 10-7 or 11-6. Not going to surprise me. I'm very interested to see what they do coming out of this bye week. Rowdy, been saying that. Ben said, yep, you said it the other day. Yeah, he'll cook. No. I'd like the NFL just the way it is. I'm a football freak ever since the Tom Landry days, thanks to my cousin. Yeah, you know what? And the parody, I'll give them credit. They've done a great job with parody. While I love the dynasties because you knew every single season, oh, wait a minute, the San Francisco 49ers beat the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers will be in the NFC Championship game again, and it's going to be between them two. Not no more. It's not like that anymore. Now that Tom Brady is done, who knows? We got the Minnesota Vikings at 5-0. Watch what happens to them down the stretch. How much you bet they won't be in the Super Bowl? How much you bet Sam Darnold going to turn back into a pumpkin? How much y'all bet? Because I'm willing to bet y'all that Sam Darnold turns back into a pumpkin. Y'all give me just 1 second. But Sam Darnold is going to turn back into a pumpkin. We watching all these teams right now. And everybody's like, oh, who going to do this and who going to do that? You just keep on watching. Some of these teams that we think not going to make it and doing this, you watch what I tell you. Those teams, they're going to get healthy. They're going to get healthy. We're already watching. They're going to make moves. We just saw the Buffalo Bills, who they signed. We're watching stuff that's happening, and you're going to see that the very teams that everybody thinks going to win, they're not going to win, because that's what the NFL wanted. They wanted parity. And one of the reasons why we have so much parity right now is we got this whole thing with the salary cap. We got this whole thing coming up with free agency. We got trades, and we got all kinds of things that we're going to see. So this season is far from over. Far from over. So I am nowhere near worried about what's going to happen with the Cowboys. Nisi said, yeah, Spike Lee is the salesperson for the NBA. Yep. He's over there fighting with the refs, making it exciting. Yeah. They do a whole lot of that stuff because guess why? You can see their faces. The NFL is so big, they have to make a concerted effort, because if they're going to be in the press boxes, I mean, you can, even when we're seeing Taylor Swift, we're seeing her from a distance. Why don't they show Allen's girlfriend, Haley Steinfeld? Maybe she doesn't want to be shown. Allen, okay. I have to look that up. Yeah, and I know also they're not showing Simone. They're not showing her, but I think she's been doing a lot of the gymnastic stuff. But could you imagine if Dak Prescott was dating somebody famous? Boy, it would be over. Longhorns annihilated in soon in other news. Yeah, I've been hearing about that red what you call it? The Red River rivalry. The Joneses pay big money to Dak and CD and expect them to win without help. The Joneses do the same thing over and over, which is the definition of insanity. Yep. You hit it right on the head. You can't deny some of Mike McCarthy's decisions on clock management, which has cost him some games. Mike McCarthy's play calls are predictable. Now, that's where I'm going. Mike McCarthy, he's got some issues. But even in spite of those issues, man, he's won a lot of games. And let me tell y'all something as I get ready to close this thing out. What y'all think about this? So with Mike McCarthy, he's been at the mercy of the owner, GM/coach, can't influence trades or signings. He didn't even get his own coaching staff. He is handicapped due to personnel. He has no contract going into next year, which you have to understand that also has... Boy, y'all forgive me. My son done stepped in here. I'm about to slap this boy. He's not one that's big on football, so I know he in the cloud. He said, yes, they do, and I have been a CeeDee Lamb fan when he was in college. Love to see him play. LV Miles said Dak Prescott or prime Tom Brady. Boy, I'm going to slap you. Stop it. Y'all know we taking Tom. Man, Tom Brady's a different animal. We can't compare nobody to Tom Brady. But no contract last year of his deal. I want y'all to understand, what do y'all think that does to the team as they're watching their coach with no deal? Now, we all know this, that Mike McCarthy has had an issue motivating his players consistently. And now you have him with no contract. There was a rumor that the Cowboys are in a soft rebuild. How do you think his players look at him? I want y'all to think about this. See, this social media age has us all twisted up in the head. How would you feel if you woke up tomorrow and everybody in America was talking about you? Let's just say you flip burgers. There's nothing wrong with it. I tell my sons all the time, as long as you got an honest job, making an honest living, taking care of yourself, and you got a family taking care of them, to God be the glory, more power to you. Let's say if you were flipping burgers. What if you burn a burger? What if you burnt a burger and you made an order late and it cost the company $15? And then you woke up the next day and your face was plastered all over social media. And the captions led, "Can't even make a hamburger." How would you feel? Now, some people say, well, if I was making $5 million a year, I'd feel pretty good. Okay. You say that now because it's not you. But just imagine everybody's talking about you. You're no good. They need to fire you. You're costing the company money. You're not this, you're not that. And let's just say you could take it. How do you think the people around you would be looking at you? I mean, I really think we need to just gravitate towards what's going on with Mike McCarthy. I mean, this man is really keeping his composure. I mean, I'm going to give him the utmost respect, even though I'm just saying I'm not going to cry if they let go of Mike McCarthy. I'm not going to cry if they keep Mike McCarthy. I do say if they keep Mike McCarthy for whatever reason, I would tell Mike McCarthy, we'll keep you, but we're not going to let you be the play caller. We're not going to let you be the play caller. And we're definitely not going to have you in the top 10 highest paid coaches. We'll keep you, but we're going to go and get that kid from the Detroit Lions. And just so you know, he's going to be the head coach in waiting. That's what I would do. Because a lot of people are saying that they don't think the Dallas Cowboys would get him. Hold on a second. Somebody gave me his name the other day. One of the ladies, they are like football savants. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson. A lot of people said they're not going to get Ben Johnson because he has no coaching experience. Hey, Ben Johnson, would you like to come and do a paid internship for 2 years up under Mike McCarthy? Yeah, Mike, we're going to extend you, but only 2. Can you stay on and give Ben Johnson, help him with the ropes? And if you get him up to speed, just be fully aware. If you get him up to speed the way that we want you to, it'll actually be a paid 2-year deal, but you'll only be here 1. I'm not going to cry if they let him go. I'm not going to cry if they keep him. But if they do keep him, go get him an offensive coordinator like Ben Johnson. And tell him you don't get no play calling duties. None. Mike McCarthy's a good guy. I think he'd be a great mentor to a coach. I think he'd be a great mentor. I think they could learn some things from him. I think they could learn some things from him about his demeanor. I think they could learn some things from him. But you also bring in that dog, Ben Johnson. Y'all don't think this dude was a dog? Man, this dude, Ben Johnson, had linemen running down the field on him. They had linemen running down the field on this man. Nisi, you don't think a team... Well, I ask you this, Nisi. You don't think it would be hard for a team to respect him when the owner is treating him the way he's treating him? I mean, the reality is, you think about it, Mike McCarthy is the walking dead. He a dead man walking. He a dead man walking. People want you to clap back, stand up for yourself. Well, Nisi, we saw what Jerry Jones is doing to these reporters. What you think he'll do to folks behind closed doors? Man, hold on a second. Nisi, I just again for effect, I need you to look at this face right here. You see that face right there? Man, I'm pretty sure ain't a lot of coaches doing a lot of talking back to Jerry Jones, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think that Bill Belichick will be here, and I don't think Jerry want Bill Belichick here. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want Bill Belichick here. I just don't think he's the coach for the Cowboys. Dan Quinn deserves some of the credit for those 12-win seasons. Yeah, Dan Quinn came in and changed life, didn't he? And let us not ignore what he's doing with the Commanders. And you know what, though? I'm going to tell you something about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a shrewd operator, but he's smart at the same time. Stephon Gilmore said something about Dan Quinn. And that's why when we play the Washington Commanders, I hope we beat the brakes off of them. Because Dan Quinn, Stephon Gilmore came just a word short of saying Dan Quinn through that game against the Green Bay Packers last year. Because Stephon Gilmore said in all his years, he's never seen a defensive coordinator run one scheme the whole season and then get to the playoffs and run an entirely different scheme, knowing that your team is not going to have time to learn that scheme. And not only was the scheme faulty, you put them in a situation to where they couldn't succeed. Stephon Gilmore said that, and he's not even a Cowboy no more. Dan Quinn's a shrewd operator. Dan Quinn wanted to get out of Dallas and wanted to get to Washington because when are you going to get that opportunity again? I understand why he did it. They had a ton of cap space, ton of draft picks, trade capital. You better believe, man, he got out of there while the getting was good. And you have to understand, had they won that game, if I'm not mistaken, there was there was something to where he wouldn't have been able to do some of the interviews that he did. So Stephon Gilmore says he believes that he threw that game. So yeah, I give him credit. He had that defense going, but I got a few questions about Dan Quinn. That's why I hope we beat the brakes off of him. Not only that, he was trying to poach players from the Cowboys. A face only a mother could love. Get them mama's credit. That's right. Jerry Jones needs to fire himself as GM. Oh, I wish he would. And bring in an actual GM. Let me tell y'all something. We got something else to be looking forward to also. I've heard them talking that Will McClay, he's the mastermind of the draft. It's one of the reasons why the drafts have been so good. But Jerry won't let him play in free agency, because if Jerry let him play in free agency, I believe he would be equally as good and this team would be even better. But I'm hearing through the grapevine that Will McClay obviously has a son that's in high school. And this is their senior year, his senior year. I think it's a son. And they're saying that he might be willing to relocate and go somewhere else and be a GM, because I know he's been offered GM at least 3 times. I'm with you, 70s fan. Yeah, the game has passed Bill by. I don't want Bill Belichick here. Jerry should get the Jets former head coach. Ooh, yes, for defensive coordinator, I would definitely get him for the defensive coordinator. I don't want him for the head coach. He seemed to have a problem with motivating. He seemed to have a problem with the offensive side of the ball in general. And so I would definitely bring in that guy, Ben Johnson. Stephen said it. And hey, I can't. I mean, the evidence he gave was too good. I agree with you, Nisi. I think he did too. I think he did too. Dan's a shrewd operator. Yeah, he did poach. Yep, got players. Dan Quinn said the Joneses have no sense of urgency. I think that was one of the reasons why he left. I really do. This is one of the reasons why he left is that they wouldn't give him the players. And I think what really sealed it was that they didn't get Bobby Wagner. I'm telling y'all, I think Bobby Wagner, just that one player, would have changed life for the Dallas Cowboys last year. Just that one player on defense. And Jerry wouldn't get him. And so that's why I asked the question. I mean, I understand, because I'm with everybody. We got reasons why we should not want Mike McCarthy here. But, man, I'm telling you, this man, knowing what we know about Jerry Jones, I'm telling y'all something. This man's done a fantastic job. And I'm with Rowdy Coyote. He would cook even more if you would give him some control over personnel. Give him the control that when Zeke come to the door knocking, sit down and tell Zeke, man, we ain't starting you. Get out of here. I mean, just tell him. We're not starting you. You crazy? Give him that control. Let him fire the offensive line coach. Let him fire him. I mean, I just wonder what Mike would look like if people say he needs, we want to see his kahunas. Well, if you've been neutered, I'd like to see what he looks like unneutered, unleashed. Because, for me, I think Jerry at least should have gave him this. Mike, you can do whatever you want to do. It's your last year because you ain't going to be here. Turn him loose. Turn him loose then. Let him get every which way but loose with the playbook. Do what he want to do. They were urgent when they hired him and tried to give him head coach over Mike. Yeah, they did. And I think they were, you're right, Nisi. I think they were trying to do it. But how could you do it? He kept going 12-4, 12-5. What could you do? And Dan Quinn is making me a Commander fan to add to my list of teams when the Cowboys don't make it past the second playoff spot or whatever. Yeah. They you know what? Just be patient. Just be patient. I'm going to tell you something about the NFL. It'll make a believer out of you. Once those coaches, especially the good ones, they get tape on you. Watch how you look when they get tape on you. Watch how you look. 4-2. I mean, they're only one game ahead of the Cowboys. I'm gonna reserve judgment on the Washington Commanders until we can get them to the end of the season. And then I'll see. How about firing Mike Zimmer and bring in Rex? Maurice, boy, you better stop playing. Rex want that job so bad he don't know what to do. But the problem is they didn't want to pay him. Rex said it. Rex thought he had the job. Got to understand something. Mike Zimmer wasn't even coaching. I think he was a consultant for the Colorado Buffaloes. And we saw what my son was talking so bad about him the other day. I had to defend him. But at the end of the day, he was the consultant for the Colorado Buffaloes, and that defense was terrible. It looks a lot better this year. It's not the greatest, but it looks a lot better. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Hey, fire him. But Jerry neutered this man. And if the season goes bad, the Joneses will blame Dak Prescott. Watch this. But I got a feeling, 70s fan. I'm telling y'all, I got a feeling. I don't think the season is going as bad as people think. You 3-3 with this team? We got to understand they only probably need to win 10 games. 10 games. They've already got 3. Surely they can get 7. I think they're going to get more. What's they 3? I think they're going to get 7 games. I think they're going to win 7 games. I think we're going to see Cowboys in the playoffs. And I think the question is going to be at the end, they're going to have a hard decision to make. Are they going to fire Mike McCarthy? So that's going to do it for me. That's going to be my time. Don't y'all worry. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure there'll be more things in the news. I'll have a couple of videos coming out tonight talking specifically about what we talked about in this live stream. But tomorrow, I think what we're going to do is we're going to break down some film. I got a couple of YouTubers that have broken down some film on, in particular, the running game for the Dallas Cowboys. And, boy, we got to talk about Trayvon Diggs, y'all. Y'all, we got to talk about Trayvon Diggs. We got to dedicate 45 minutes to an hour. We have to talk about Trayvon Diggs and what this man is out there doing and not doing on the football field. Man, tape don't lie. Trayvon Diggs is out there doing the Willie Foo-Foo out there, man. Trayvon Diggs is a big part of the problem of what we got going on right now. And it ain't got nothing to do with this man coming back from injury. So we're going to look at some things about the Cowboys' run game, and we're going to look at some things about their defense as far as missing tackles, and in particular some film on Trayvon Diggs, and see, as we have 2 whole weeks to occupy ourselves with, what are we going to do over the next few games? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I will never jump on Dan Quinn's bandwagon. I'm with you, Nisi. Neither will I. That man's a shrewd operator. Running game. Yeah, we're going to break down some film on the running game. She said Dragon Trade. You just wait until we watch the tape on this thing. Trey Diggs going to have to do better, man. He going to have to do better on this team if this defense going to improve. But that's going to do it for me, y'all. That's going to be my time. If you like this live stream, please like it, share it, hit that notification bell, and just let others know, man, that we got a new channel out here, man. We having some fun, and we getting some facts, and we talking about the Cowboys. So until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.
Worried about fan apathy setting in?
I'm not worried about fan apathy. If you saw the letters and things I'm getting, that's the last thing from apathy. You're seeing very, very keen, intense passion about what we're not doing and concern about what we're doing. And that's the reason that I love this thing, is because you have that kind of passion. I love the passion. And there's nobody more passionate than our Dallas Cowboy fans. I'll assure you one thing, and I know you guys know it. I'm not afraid to make decisions. And I can live with anything that we're talking about as far as criticism about those decisions. What I'm going to worry about is whether those decisions can pan out in a positive way. You've got a lot of reasons why they don't. And you got a lot of teams up here looking around at some of the decisions they've made over the last few years. Just because everybody else is making bad decisions doesn't mean that justifies you making a bad decision.
You say you
so
don't...
We can go into this. I'm saying what I'm saying. Don't tell me what I'm saying.
Okay.
You listen to what I'm saying.
Jerry, why are you getting so mad at us? We're just asking you why the blowouts are happening, the historical differences at home. We're just asking about it on behalf of the fans, and you're getting real ticked off and mad at us. We're just
I'm not. Hey, can I tell you something, guys? I don't get mad at people that I can not be with if I don't want to be with. I don't get mad. You're asking me for a response, and I'm giving you a response. We got to play better, and we got to play better at specific points. No, there's no looking for stepping out here and bringing in 20 new players between now and the bye. That's not the way it works. But I like the players that we have. You go around this league, and you will see a high recognition of the quality of players we've got. We should be able to not have